Hey everybody, so about 1 year ago I made a video called Every Benton Omnitrix Toy. It has 23,000 views and is my most viewed video. And if you came from that video and subscribed from that, thank you very much, I very much appreciate it. I'm at 200 and something subscribers now, and just thank you to everyone who subscribed. Because I do like making videos even though they aren't the best, you know what I mean? And if you aren't subscribed now, maybe you should. And leave a like if you want, I guess. So yeah, in classic YouTuber fashion, I obviously have to do a part 2, that's just the deal with the higher-ups, how it goes. So yeah, I did miss a bunch of Omnitrixes on the last video, so that's just what this video is. I'm gonna be covering even more Omnitrixes. So yeah, this is the part 2. And sorry for the bad gameplay in the background. This Ben 10 game isn't good. This game is made for like 6-year-olds. The minimap doesn't even work. The game in the background is really bad. I couldn't use the emulator for the old games because my computer is a bag of potatoes. So anyway, let's get into more of the Omnitrixes. So first of all, the Roleplay Galactic Monsters Omnitrix. That's a mouthful of a name. I don't know who the hell came up with that. On the box it just says Omniverse Omnitrix, which makes sense because this thing is literally just for cosplaying, I'm pretty sure. Because it doesn't really do anything. There's no dial that pops up. The Omniverse Omnitrix just literally the thing opens. That's all it does. So I think this just goes along with like if you were making a Ben 10 cosplay or something like that, or an Omnitrix to like show off with your costume, this is the Omnitrix. And that's it basically. So the next one is the Omnitrix Shuffle. This one, it just makes a bunch of noises. So the dial pops up and then you could like put a figure on the dial itself, and then you can like hear like the transformation sequence. Hear the noise that is programmed into the watch to make that certain alien's noise when you use the figure on it. And I think it does it with the other ones too. So if you have Big Chill, it'll like make the noise for Big Chill transforming, and then it'll just make the noise that Big Chill has for the watch. Like this watch just has like a bunch of sounds, so if you don't have a figure on it and you shake it, it'll just make a random alien noise, and that's basically it. And you could also turn the dial, which is pretty cool, and it'll make the noises if you turn the dial. But that's it. It just has like a bunch of alien noises, and I guess it was another collectible thing, I think. Yeah, that's it basically for this one. It just makes noises. Its gimmick is that it makes preset noises that are in the watch already when you buy it, and when you shake it, it just plays a random noise basically. And if you have the figure for one of those aliens, it'll play that specific noise that's already in the watch. But that's basically it. On to the next one, which is the Revolution Omnitrix. The Revolution Omnitrix is honestly one I don't know that much about because I couldn't really find anything on YouTube. From my understanding from the wiki, it says that it like had little figures on the Ultimatrix that when you put a figure on the Ultimatrix, it will shoot out like a Beyblade or something. So like I guess it was another projectile shooter toy, again with little figures. I think there's only like 3 figures or 2 because all I see is whatever that red guy is. Is that Jerry Rig? I don't know who that is. And then it had that cannonball. So I had just figures that shot out basically. Which doesn't seem that cool, but if you put like the dial that came with it on the Omnitrix, it looks pretty cool. So take away the actual gimmick of the toy and it seems like an actual good Ultimatrix. And basically, yeah, that's it. And now onto the Reboot toys. And the first Reboot toy is the Deluxe Omnitrix. This Omnitrix, I think they got kind of right. I think this one shows that they learned from the other toys from the Ben 10 series. Even though I don't really like the Reboot, I have to give it to them. This one is pretty good. Even though this Omnitrix is a pretty chunky piece of plastic, the mechanic of how it works I think is cool. I mean, it's just a normal Omnitrix, and at the end of the day, it just like pops up the dial, you choose the alien, makes a sound. I think like once you actually have it selected, it'll make a sound, and it'll like time out also. So basically, it's just a big clunkier version than the original Omnitrix. And yeah, that's basically it. It makes other noises, and the strap for this one is pretty bad. The strap is like horrible. It's Velcro, which isn't really a bad thing, but I mean they couldn't have just gave the other strap that were on the other ones, because I don't know, this thing is really big and I wouldn't feel that secure with a Velcro strap hauling 300 pounds of plastic on my wrist. But yeah, anyway, this one I think is the best Reboot toy in my opinion, at least, because it does everything that the Omnitrix should do. It makes sounds. You can hear the activation noise, you choose the alien, it times out. It's just the overall standard. I mean, the original one is the standard, but this one is on par, I think. Even though it is big. Okay, now this Omnitrix. This one is just the cheaper version of the Deluxe. It doesn't pop up, the button doesn't work. You just select an alien and I think it just makes a noise once you slap it down, and that's basically it. It's just the cheaper version of the Deluxe and a smaller equivalent, I guess. Which I think is actually a good thing, it's not really a bad thing. because you can have both options and both are fine. Because the Deluxe is pretty huge, so this one is better. For like mobility, I guess. I don't know why you want mobility on a toy, but it's a watch, I guess, so. But I don't know, you do you. Yeah, but that's it. Not much to say about this one. It's just the normal, it's the white bread of Omnitrix toys. Anyway, next is the Omni-Strike. Okay, I think this one is for Season 3 or Season 2 of this show, I think. And it's basically just another copycat of one of the older toys. I think it's the Viewfinder, the Omnitrix Viewfinder. It's just a copycat of that one, where it has the discs and it likes to and it like projects light into like a cylinder where you turn the dial and you can see it. The Viewfinder one is really cool, and I guess this one is cool too because it's basically just the same thing. But actually this one might be better because I think it does have alien sound effects, which the original Omnitrix one didn't have sound effects, which was a really sad thing for it, but I guess they did kind of learn from that one. So Reboot sometimes is copying, but the Reboot toys sometimes are copying the original ideas, but I guess they're adding on a little bit, so I guess it's fine. But also, let me tell you, them changing the Omnitrix in the Reboot like every 2 seasons is just kind of annoying. Like, I feel like in the original show, whenever he would change the Omnitrix, like it would upgrade or it would change, like they were calibrated to the Omnitrix. It was a sign of growth or character development. But in the Reboot, I don't think that's what it was trying to go for. I just think they're trying to sell more toys, which is really sad to see go down. But then again, I haven't fully watched the Reboot in like a while, so maybe I'll rewatch it, and maybe I won't see it as a show for Goo Gaga babies, but that's still how I view how the Reboot did things. It was just for a big toy sale, and I think Ben 10 should have never came to that. But anyway, on to the next one, which is just called Omnitrix. Okay, this one is the Season 3 of the Reboot Omnitrix, and this one is just, I think it's just the other one. It's just the other normal Omnitrix, but it's just for Season 3 and it has way more alien sound effects, like Humongosaur and Wrath. By the way, them getting young bed Humongosaur and Wrath is absolutely insane. Like, you can't come up with any other aliens. Like, I know they did come up with like one, but that don't count. Just don't recycle shit. But no, Cartoon Network isn't the same as it used to be, I guess. That's just my view on the Reboot, I guess. But this one, this Omnitrix has 40 other sound effects, so I think that's cool, but it's just generic again. Now, my favorite type of toy, the projector. I don't know why they keep doing this, man. Every single new show they have, no matter it be Ultimate Alien, Alien Force, Original Series, Reboot, Omniverse, there's always a projector. I don't know if Omniverse had a projector one, but they love projectors in the Ben 10 toy industry. They love projectors. They love just putting little discs into the Ben 10 Omnitrix and then having a light go up and it's projecting an image. I don't know why there's like a little, like it doesn't make the Omnitrix look any better because there's like a little ball in the middle of the dial. But they just keep making these. I just think that's really funny. Anyway, on to the next one, the Deluxe Omnitrix Reboot version, which is called the Alien Game Omnitrix. The name Alien Game Omnitrix doesn't really do this one justice because it's just another copycat version of an older toy. But then again, the older Deluxe Omnitrix was really cool, and I think this one has like way more features, which I think is better for the toy overall. So if you don't remember from my last video, the Deluxe Omnitrix, you were able to like play a game where you guess the alien, or you like fight villains and you get to choose the alien, or there was just like a normal mode where you get to choose the alien, and there's like a little image. It's like a projector in the middle of the dial, and it, like, you can play games on it basically. I think this one's really cool. It's just the Omnitrix where you can play games, and I think them remaking it for the Reboot is actually a good thing. I don't actually mind them copying this one, but yeah, this is just one of the good ones. Yeah, I'm not going too deep into this one because it's just the Deluxe Omnitrix but with more features. And yeah, that's it. On to the next one, which is the Alien Wash Omnitrix. This one tells the time. That's it. Okay, on to the next one, Omnitrix Creator. Now this one is also a copy of the other one. So you see a pattern with the Reboot, they can't think of anything themselves. Anyway, you can mix and match the accessories from Kevin 11's Omnitrix, or whatever it's called, and you can just like switch around the parts, and like you can switch the dial, have like things coming out of it. There's way less parts from the original, like make your own Omnitrix from, I think it was Ultimate Alien or something, or around that. Yeah, I think it was Ultimate Alien. It just has way less features than that. You can make your own. I think there's some cool combinations you can do, I guess, with switching the dial and stuff. It says there's 100+ combinations, so maybe it just seems like you can't really do that much, but I don't know, it seems the same thing. I think the idea of creating your own Omnitrix is a good idea. It leads for some cool combinations, but I think they should have included more dials, in my opinion. More dials could have just made it better, or even just like a different, like adding different buttons even. But yeah, that's it for this one. I don't have much to say. I was gonna talk about how they gave Kevin 11 an Omnitrix, or he made it himself in a goddamn garage somehow. But I think I'm just gonna do that for another video. I'll just save complaining for the reboot in another video. This is about the toys, which I don't think this one is actually that bad. If it does have 100 plus combinations, that's cool. But yeah, that's it. And this is actually the end of the video. So yeah, if you made it to the end, thank you for watching. The Ben 10 fandom page for the Omnitrix toys also came in handy, because some of them I didn't even know existed, and then I went on there to throw them in. So I had basically my whole list done, and then I was able to add a couple more with the fandom page. So yeah, thanks to that. And yeah, that's it for the video. Thanks for watching.